Hi, my name is Doug Rice, and I'm coming to you here from Micro Center's R&D Center, and we're going to put together a video of showing you how to put together Tony Kanaan Racing Pro Rig. And so this is the black edition, so I'm going to walk you through how to put it together to help out if you're following along with your instructions. So let's get to it. So the first thing, we're just going to cut all the straps and the tape off. Base box is pre-assembled, so that helps a lot. Keeps you from having to do a lot of the other assembly, but we'll get this out and on the table and start putting it together. So as you can see, the base box has a lot already pre-assembled. The pedal plate is already pre-assembled. It's all the way forward, but it can be adjusted obviously anywhere you need it to be for your size and your pedal system. Same with the seat rails and the cross members. They're already pre-assembled, which is outstanding. Saves you a lot of work. Gets you up and running racing as soon as possible. So all we're going to do first is we'll mount the seat rails, and then we'll mount the uprights for the steering wheel. The first thing you're going to want to do is slide the seat rail using the adjustment latch here all the way forward so that you can get to the underside of this rail in order to put the nut on the bottom. So we've already done that, and then you'll also need a 13mm open-end box wrench so that you can put that on and hold it underneath to get the nut. So we'll do that. So when you're mounting the seat brackets, just make sure that the taller one is the back. That lets you know which one's left and which one's right. So this will be the back left, and the other one, the taller one, back right. So the next part of the assembly is going to be to put the uprights on for the steering wheel mount. So this is the most critical part for you to have custom to your size and your wheel and your seat. So we're going to mount them, and you'll mount them first initially, and then once you get your seat and steering wheel installed, you'll have to adjust the distance for your arm length, your leg length, things like that. So we'll show you how to mount it, and then we'll show you how to loosen it and slide it and adjust it after we get them mounted. So it's pretty basic. Because of this is all pre-assembled, it's very easy. You just put it in the position you want it, and we'll put the T-nuts in the rails here, and the bolts go on top of that. So it's very easy. There's 8 on each side. So we'll start doing that now. There's 2 ways you can do. These come with the roll-in T-nuts, and so you can put them into the rail directly wherever you want them, and then spin them and get them situated in the correct position. But the easier way to do it is to slide the T-nut in the rail from an open end. This end already has nuts and bolts in the way, so this end does not. So we'll start at this end, and you just slide it into the rail like so. And it has a little spring-loaded bearing there to keep some tension on it, but it rolls very easily right into place. And so we'll slide in all 8 of those on each side, and then we'll start bolting the uprights. So just a little tip about the T-nuts is they only go in one way. So you want the rounded side to go down, whatever track you're doing. So if you're going a side track, you want it to the inside, because the flat side is where you're going to screw the bolt into. So also because you can see the little the bearing, spring-loaded bearing there, that's what gives it the tension and allows it to roll smoothly. But also you have to kind of depress it a little bit to get it started. So show you on this rail right here. Once you get it started, then it slides in very soon. Every once in a while, one of the T-nuts can lose its position and get twisted out of place. So you just have to play with it a little bit, push down on the spring until it gets perfectly back into place where it's flush. There's 2 little grooves two little grooves, that's where the inside of the rails need to sit. So sometimes it can get caught being a little crooked. So you want to make sure those are perfectly flat before you start bolting down. Another trick I do is, in order to move the nuts around easier, is just to use your Allen wrench, kind of stick it in the hole, and it's a lot easier to slide around the nut however you need to, or poke it underneath something, and then you can use the small end to align it into the hole well before you start bolting it. So we've got the bolts in a general position so that we can get to them and see them. So we're going to mount the upright. We're going to start at 30 inches. That's where we recommend you start. And then you can adjust from there once you get the seat and the pedals on the upright and your wheel mount. So I'm going to put the top two bolts in first to hold it in place. These are usually pretty easy to get started, finger tight, depending on the size of your fingers. So I'm going to loosen these two, lower it down until these align, and then we'll tighten it back up. Okay, so we've got one upright mounted with all 16 bolts, and now we're going to do the other side the same way. So the last thing you want to do once you get your uprights on and the wheel on and your seat in position is to loosen these slightly and make sure the uprights are level, up, left and right. So just don't forget to do that as a final step before you tighten everything down on the seats and the wheel and the cross member there. So the next part of the assembly is to put together the wheel mount cross member. And so in order to do that, it comes in three parts. You've got the main part where you'll mount your direct drive wheel, and then the two side pieces. And you'll want to make sure that the curved part of this is at the bottom of the cross member. And it fits right in this tab. And then we'll use two corner brackets, a nut and a bolt coming from the outside with the nut and the bolt on the inside of the corner bracket. And we'll do that for all four of these. Okay, there's that. So the next part will be to mount this onto the uprights. Okay, so we're going to mount the cross member for your wheel mount onto the uprights using the long bolts that come with the kit. Make sure you use long ones because this is a much thicker piece, so you need to be able to fit all the way through to catch the nut. And we're going to do 2 on top, 2 on bottom on each side, for a total of 8. And we're going to use the T-nuts and the rails just like we did before. So the next part is we're going to mount the motor drive cross member, and you want to make sure that the side arms are pointing toward the brake pedal pad plate. And again, obviously, once you get your wheel mounted, you'll want to make sure that the uprights are level before you tighten those down finally. And you'll want to make sure that these are the same distance in and out so that you don't get any torquing with a direct drive wheel that could damage your uprights or your bracket. So just make sure everything is level, straight, even, symmetrical before you do a final tight down of all your bolts. Okay, the last part will be mounting the arm to mount your mouse pad or other accessories. Okay, so the last part will be mounting this arm bar that's for accessories, mouse pad, gear shift, emergency brake, those kind of things. So it's very straightforward. There's just 2 bolts here that will mount to this upright and 2 bolts here that will mount to any of the 3 grooves actually. So it's adjustable by height as well. So, and then you could adjust the upright arm in and out if you wanted to as well. So lots of adjustability with 80/20 rigs. That's what I love about them. So we'll start with putting the T-nuts in the rails. And I'm just going to mount it to the top rail. 2 for here. And 2 down this side. And again, you may have to come back and loosen these and re-level again. Once you get your wheel on, you want to make sure these are level as well. So you may have to readjust this a little bit because you want to start with your wheel deck and make sure that is perfectly level, and then worry about this secondary. So we're putting it in place with this level now. Once you get your wheel, seat, pedals, you can do a final adjustment and tighten down all your nuts. So the last step will be just putting our end caps on the open ends of all the 80/20 pieces. have it. Now all you have to do is mount your seat, your pedals, and your steering wheel, any other accessories you have, and you'll be ready to go racing.